What's going on, Pro Cutters? John back with another one, and it's got something to do with the new Wright Standard 52 ZK. Got some more goodies. This is something that I paid for when I bought the machine, but they didn't have it in stock. They had to order it. And what it is a weed eater holder. It comes with a bunch of different bits, but it's a string trimmer holder, and it attaches onto the mower so you can carry your string trimmer with you while you're mowing. That way, if you've got a spot that's a ways out from where you've got your rig parked, take the trimmer with you. It'll save you some steps, which will save you some time. So stick around. I'm going to show you how to install the trimmer rack on a Wright Standard ZK. First, we're going to install our upper mount, and to do that, it comes with longer carriage bolts, and this bolt here on the handlebar. You're going to go ahead and take off these two nuts and pull out those carriage bolts, and then this piece will hold on with the longer carriage bolt. So let's go ahead and do that. And you're going to need a 9/16 ratchet and 9/16 open end wrench, and I recommend a ratchet wrench if you have one. So you're going to take out the shorter one and replace it with the longer one. And on that bracket, the top carriage bolt will go in just this square hole that has no slot. Little fiddly to reach in here, but doable nonetheless. And you're just gonna kind of wiggle it around a little bit till you get the bugger out. There we go. All right, now look at this, and okay, so on the 52 ZK, you'll put it in the bottom slot, your other carriage bolt. And then it's come with new nuts to go with the new carriage bolts. And so I'm just going to use the new ones as opposed to reusing the old ones, even though it doesn't matter, because these nuts aren't nylocks. They've just got the little teeth on them to lock them into place. And just like all my other projects, you want to start these by hand. Not that you can get a power tool in here, so you're kind of no choice but to start these by hand. But they go in there like that, and then I'm gonna set mine so it's pulled nearly all the way up. Let me check the brake. Okay, and the brake still functions as it should. Nothing is in the way there. Then you can go ahead and tighten everything up. Get it good and tight, guys. Once you got one tight, then double check the other one, make sure it's still tight, and double check that one, and then they're good and tight. And then once you have this piece tightened up and on here, you're going to need a number 2 Phillips screwdriver so you can install your tie down strap, and it'll get 2 screws in the top and then 1 or 2 screws holding the pin piece on. And if I had my impact driver up here instead of down in the truck, I would use it to put these in, but just a manual screwdriver will work just fine. Tighten it down into place, and then your bottom one has a pin and it gets a screw, so the pin will go in the top hole and the screw goes in the other hole. And again, just a hand screwdriver is all you need for this, and that's it. Alright, so it doesn't matter which rubber strap you use on the top or bottom. And on the bottom mount, the angle piece on the 52, it's going to go on this because if you put it out here, your hardware is going to bind on the caster. So it's going to go here, and I'm putting my angle facing forward, so it's further forward. Your 2 long carriage bolts go through your bottom plate and then your nuts, and then tighten them up. And again, this is a 9/16, and just go back and forth a couple of times to make sure they're good and snug. And then you're going to use the hardware that you took off of the handlebar up top to hold this portion on. And your opening will go toward the outside of the machine. Now I'm going to eyeball this to where it's lined up with the other one up top, and then snug it down. Pretty brilliant of them to reuse that hardware. Saves a little bit of money and weight on shipping. Now up here you can go back to your number 2 screwdriver and put your screws in as such. And this is for your tie down strap. And what these are going to do is, you know, if you're bouncing across the rough property, they're going to hold your string trimmer in place. I suspect that I'm probably not going to use these a lot, just because it's an extra step that I feel you're going to be able to skip. But now that that's installed, we'll run back down to the rig, get out the string trimmer, and test it out. All right, so check it out, guys. Now I've got my string trimmer, and you drop it right in there like so, and then you can put your straps on to hold it into place, so when you're bumping around you're not going to lose it. And you can see it's out of the way, it's not blocking my ability to get on or off the machine. It's locked into place. Now, for example, my property, when I mow this section, there's really not a lot of string trimming along here, but all the way at the end of my driveway, which is approximately 175 feet from here, there's some trimming around the curb, and I've got a little ornamental brick wall around the base of my mailbox that needs to be string trimmed. So now I can mow. I've got my trimmer with me mounted right on the machine, so I'm going to save time, which is going to save me money. So there you go. Now you know how to mount your trimmer rack on your Wright ZK. You replace these 2 handlebar carriage bolts with the slightly larger one to put your upper mount on. You reuse your short handlebar bolts to put the front upright on the L bracket, and then the longer carriage bolts go to the L bracket and the bottom bracket and go onto this cross beam right here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more how-tos and tips on lawn service, handyman work, drone footage, Donovan the Weimaraner footage, and other things. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there and watching. See you on the next one.